This is Simerjeet Singh back again with the Ask SJS series, where we had invited you to send in your questions. And we had like a multitude of different questions, from career-related queries to questions on self-growth and overcoming self-limiting belief. The next question that we have is from Mr. Sanjeev Kumar from Jalandhar. And his question is, how can I shift my paradigm, my thinking, my outlook from being a caterpillar to that of a butterfly? It's very interesting. And how can I bring alive the dormant forces, faculties, and talents hidden inside me? Given his choice of words about dormant forces, faculties, and talents, I am pretty sure this is inspired by a quote by the ancient Indian yoga teacher, yoga guru Patanjali, who was often quoted by Dr. Wayne Dyer, which uses exactly the same set of words. So I'm confident, Sanjeev, that you have heard and read that quote, but for the other viewers, let me just read it out for you. And then we'll come to Sanjeev's question, which is about how can I fully awaken all the dormant powers inside me? So this quote by the ancient great yoga guru from India goes something like this. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all of your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction. And you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive. And you discover yourself to be a greater person than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Sanjeev, I think the answer is hidden inside the quote itself right at the beginning. All of this happens when you're inspired by some great purpose. You rise up to the occasion and you discover that you are a far greater person than you ever thought yourself to be. The key here lies in trusting the natural divine flow of the universe, which has helped you grow thus far, which has helped you grow physically, mentally, intellectually, and to trust that same force to take you to the next level of evolution and growth and whatever that you aspire to do. I have a simple mental exercise that I would like you to do in order to get in touch with this power. Take a deep breath in and close your eyes for a few seconds. And now visualize all the major things that have happened in your life, which at one stage seemed very difficult or impossible, and yet they happened. Thanks to the natural flow of things, thanks to the natural flow of the universe, you overcame those difficulties, you survived those challenges, and you became a greater person than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Reflect on how much you've been through. Reflect on all the hurdles that you were able to overcome, which seemed unsurmountable, which seemed very difficult at one point of time. And yet, you survived. Now, what I'm asking you to do is to trust the same flow of life and allow that same life force to take you to the next level. And that will happen as you begin saying yes to new challenges. I believe a lot of people are not able to live their life fully because they don't trust this divine flow. At some stage of our mental growth, we are imbibed with this conditioning, we are conditioned to believe that we make things happen, and that's the biggest misconception ever. We are insignificant in the divine scheme of things, in the larger scheme of things. We can go with the flow of life and learn how to harness those forces and grow with it. You can't even make your hair grow. You can't even make your nails grow. These are processes that are happening by themselves. So the same way, in allowing your life to go to the next level, trust the divine flow of life and learn to go with it. Rumi, the famous Sufi philosopher Jalaluddin Rumi, I think he said it beautifully when he said, every single mortal will taste death. Every single mortal will taste death, yet only a few will taste life. That is so true. While death is inevitable for every single one of us, only a few are able to tap into that spark while they're alive and take those sort of risks and lead that life which we can call a fulfilled, happy, successful life. Let's get back to your question about how can I shift my paradigm from being a caterpillar to being a butterfly. Now, my friend, listen, the growth, the physical growth for a the transition from a caterpillar to a butterfly is a one-off event in the life of a butterfly. So it's a one-off process. Human beings, I think we can trigger that process multiple number of times in our lives. So like I call every decade of my life, I call it a version 1.0 to 2.0. So the first 10 years of my life, I will call it Simmer 1.0. And then the next 10 years, I will call it Simmer 2.0. And then Simmer 3.0, Simmer 4.0, right? That's where I'm currently at. We must allow this process to happen. We must allow this process of learning, unlearning, and relearning, and this inner growth to take place. It should not just be a one-off process for us. It's very important, a few things I wanted to share with you here, for you to understand and accept that both these phases have their own importance in our life. The paradigm of a caterpillar and the paradigm of a butterfly. To be in a situation where you are growing and developing for the future, and to be in a position where you now have wings and you can explore and fly and do new things. Please understand, both these phases are there for a reason, and one is incomplete without the other. For you to be able to spread your wings fully and to fly and to do other sort of things that you want to do once you have the wings, for you to be able to do that, it's really important that the first phase goes well, which is when you're in the cocoon, when you're in the caterpillar. I'm reminded of a story from Zorba the Greek by the author Nikos Kazantzakis. I'm not sure if I pronounced his last name correctly, but Zorba the Greek. And there is a little passage in which this person is observing a little caterpillar coming outside. He's struggling to come out from the cocoon, and he's observing it, and it's taking longer than what he expected it to be. So this person grows restless, and what he does is he picks it up and he breathes over it and gently warming the cocoon so that the caterpillar can come out and come out quicker than it was supposed to. So what was supposed to be a miracle in front of his eyes turned out to be one of the most horrifying sights that he ever saw in his life. And he saw that this butterfly now has its wings crumpled or folded all the way to the back, and is struggling to open its wings, and he can't do that. He cannot unfold them, and he died in the palm of his hand. And from this experience, he reflects that little body, I quote, that little body was the greatest weight on my conscience. And I realized that is a mortal sin to go against the laws of nature. It's a mortal sin to go against the great laws of nature. And that little body is the greatest weight on my conscience. Please understand, this is a message for everyone, for Sanjeev and for everyone else who's watching. We cannot pull out the caterpillars before they're ready. They're premature. The waiting time is there for a reason. It's there for their full development. It's there for a reason so that they can fully explore what lies beyond, so that they're prepared. And in summary, for Sanjeev's question, here are a few things. Number one, please understand the caterpillar stage has a purpose to strengthen you for the next phase. Number two, for butterflies, it happens once in a lifetime transformation from the caterpillar to the butterfly. For human beings, you can initiate it, you can trigger it multiple number of times. You owe it to yourself. I think it was Muhammad Ali who said, a man who lives life at 40 the same way he lived at 20 has wasted 20 years of his life. We owe it to ourselves to grow and evolve and develop our outlook, and not to be the same person who we were yesterday. Number two, do not go against the great laws of nature, which means have patience. Good things take time. They unfold with time, and it's there for a reason. The waiting time is there for a reason. Number three, in order for you to fully unleash all that is sleeping and latent and dormant inside you, say yes to things outside your comfort zone. Say yes to the unfamiliar. Say yes to the unknown. Do not confine yourself to a narrow zone of possibility, which is called the comfort zone. In many cases, you will say yes first and develop the skills later on, and that's perfectly okay. Do not wait to be fully prepared in every which way before you answer your calling. Answer your calling, and you'll acquire the skills and every resource that you need on the way. And in the end, I think one very important thing is some of the skills you will only develop only after you commit to a new course of action. It was only after I committed to a new course of action in my career, in my life, than being a motivational speaker, a keynote speaker, and a coach, and a YouTuber, and all sort of things that I'm doing right now. It was only after saying yes to this new course of action that I developed all the skills that I needed to fulfill this. I had no idea how digital marketing works, how YouTube videos work, how to design a keynote and things like that. But it's been a wonderful journey over the last 12 years, and I've learned more than I ever did in any university or formal institute thus far. So say yes to the unknown, step forward, my friend, and wonderful things are waiting for you. God bless you. Thank you for asking this beautiful question.